Hello and welcome to Oracle Storytelling. Hi, I'm Sarah of sarahwingintuitivearts. It is November 2022. How are you? How are you doing? I'm just observing right now as I shoot this video the silence I'm hearing. I don't know the last time it was so silent. Wow. So I'm going to take that as a sign that there will be some clarity brought through as we journey through these stories. What I really want is to just have some lovely intuitive tales that hopefully will leave you feeling a little more peaceful or grounded. So I've got this lovely ruby in kyanite pendant. The ruby in general is something that aids one in following their bliss. And if you think about Wizard of Oz and where Dorothy's wearing those ruby red slippers and she's venturing into this new land, I feel like that really speaks to what a lot of us are going through. Physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, a combination of all and even more. And I'm just feeling a lot of reds and pinks right now. So I have this strawberry quartz, I have my rhodonite, I picked up this piece of rose quartz, and this is actually from a candle my friend gave me, like an intention candle. But yeah, just bringing in all these kind of warmer tones. You could, maybe you're feeling, a need to ground lately, or wanting to connect more with, if we think of red, we think of root chakra. If we think of pinks, we think of self-love or the tendency to overgive. So maybe your caretaking has washed over or swallowed you whole, and you really need to step back and connect to part of yourself that's been put to the side. I know that politics are part of a big discussion. There's some voting coming up, and a lot of what I hear, at least, is very polarizing, and not the nicest. Not the nicest things. And I was thinking about that a bit today, and thinking about intuition and going on these journeys, making choices, right? So part of even facing a decision, all these decisions, even if you feel polarizing, at the end of the day, when you decide, you're stepping towards something and letting something else go. And I'm thinking a lot of us right now are struggling in that overwhelm of letting something go, making that choice. So I hope that this will be helpful. So what I'm going to do is start by drawing 2 cards, and whichever one you're drawn to more, you'll either be in group 1 or you'll be in group 2. So just thinking about the journey that you're on right now, and think about, are you focusing on the thing or things you have to decide, or the things you're letting go of, right? Because it's never just one, it's the whole, it's both. All right. I'm going to say card 1 and card 2. Ooh, this is 2. Jeez, this is strong. You know what? This one gets 2. So pile number 1, number 2. Okay, just whatever you feel or sense towards a little more. Okay, so I'm going to start with pile number 1. All right, pile number 1 got 2 cards. It was very thud. So, wow. Okay. Wow. So here we have these beautiful pink tones again. Ooh, bringing in all this lovely pink energy. Self-love. And this is high wraith. Longing for home. Homesick for the stars. Okay. And then the golden children. Inner child. Tenderness. Innocence. Rare gifts. I'm just kind of showing these. So, in the journey you're on right now, wow. What I'm getting from these is wow. I'm getting a sense of being swallowed up by the whole, swallowed up by a fixation on returning, like a return, and a challenge of accepting where you're at. So this could be like a warm, longing remembrance of kind of from when you were younger, or a remembrance of places that you've come from, this lifetime, another lifetime, other planets, whatever your remembrance might be. And it might also be a merging of, even if, say, your remembrance is from somewhere far, far away, just this remembrance of the innocence of being a child, and kind of getting lost in that remembrance, and just, having a tough time accepting where you are at this leg of your journey. And it doesn't matter if these are warm memories or scary memories or anything in between. It's just that unknown next leg of the journey. That's what I'm getting. And then let's get a little wisdom from the book by Sherry Huber, Be the Person You Want to Find. So what is some good advice? This is just swell until I just, wherever my finger went, I'm reading. This is just swell until I begin to get it that the other person is not responding. So I have some frustration here, and maybe you're looking outward for someone close to you to help guide you into this next leg of the journey, hoping they'll shoulder some of the decision making for you that you need to make yourself. Perhaps then I redouble my efforts. Maybe I'm being too subtle and tactful, because if I weren't, surely the person would understand and be different, right? Again, this is what we learned from our parents, and they learned it from theirs, and so on. So what I'm getting from that is, again, kind of negotiation. So negotiating with someone outside yourself. And this could be even like a decision where you go, well, if I'm leaving, if I'm making this change or that, it affects X, Y, and Z people. But the frustration lies in you still have to make a decision for yourself. And let's get, so I'm going to do a romance oracle card. If this affects a relationship decision, loving decision, romantic decision. Okay, so the card is romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. And this is telling me right now is your feelings on this are worth exploring. Okay? Like, this is lovely, but it's your feelings that are worth exploring. So if you're hitting that frustrating wall talking to somebody else, explore your feelings on it. Instead of sharing your thoughts and waiting for someone to agree, disagree, or take the reins and kind of walk you down the road with it, explore your feelings in whatever ways feel natural. Do you go in nature and that kind of opens up some energetic space? Do you, how do you move your body around, or how do you, whatever creative means to you, expression do you do that can unstick some of this static energy, that can get to get some emotional room opening, and again, just the idea of your feelings are worth exploring, not my feelings are worth being listened to and this person better listen to me. Okay. And let's end this one with a floral selection. All right. Okay. Let's see, an herbal remedy to help facilitate internal conversation. What about that? Cornflower. The meaning is hope and love. Origin: folklore surrounding the cornflower, also called a bachelor's button, states that a young man is to wear the flower when he is in love. If the flower dies quickly, it means his adoration is unrequited. However, if the flower maintains its bloom, there is a hope that the young man's love will be returned. Pair with lilac as a gift for first love. Sweet William, to show you will always be true. And really what I'm picking up with this, I mean, we're having a lot of loving messages come through, and I think there is that a love and remembrance that really is beautiful. But what this really, I'm seeing again, is there's a bit of negotiation here, right? There's a little bit of spell casting on yourself, where it's like the bachelor's button. So I want to give my love. I want to give this statement, my, what I kind of think is my truth. It might not be, it could be, or I am trying to get a certain reaction from somebody and kind of to avoid making a decision. So if the flower dies quickly, it means the admiration is unrequited. However, if the flower maintains its bloom, there's hope that the young man's love will be returned. So it's still kind of putting this choice externally outside yourself. And if this is pertaining a decision to a romantic relationship, I mean, at the end of the day, if you wear a flower and it dies quickly, and that means one thing, or if it stays bloom and it means another thing to you, these visual ways that we see things, that that we kind of play these games with and give our power to, give away our power to, in these moments. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not a horrible thing, because at the end of the day, you can you race the decision through your head for months or weeks, but if it's the next right thing for you, you'll eventually take those steps. And I mean, obviously I'm reading, oracle cards as a way to see something you already know. And if wearing a flower and it fades or it stays, instinctively you feel like it's going to be one way or another, and that's what you want to do, then so be it. All right, so I'm moving to card and pile number 2. Okay, so for number 2, wow. The great serving. Oh my gosh. So, Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. So, we have some very, very strong Mars energy right now. And we have, wow. Okay. So, when we think of Mars, we think of direct. We think of, and Mars in Gemini, Mars retrograde in Gemini right now. When we think of Mars, we think of direct. We think of we might think of a warrior in battle, aggressor. So, wow. So I'm definitely getting frustration, anger, conflict, obviously. But everything serves a purpose. Okay? Everything serves a purpose. Every emotion serves a purpose. Overthinking serves a purpose. Everything serves a purpose. Wow. So the great serving. Questions that I've asked myself lately. Who and how are you serving yourself? How do your decisions, your intentions serve yourself? How do your choices serve your ethics? What are your ethics? Who do you give your free will over to? Your Mars, your direct, commanding, follow through, general energy. Are people make decisions for you? Do you hand over that? Are you reaching kind of a frustration, anger, boiling point of that? Or do you feel like you're looking for service outside of yourself? You feel like you've really been in service as well as you can to yourself, and you'd like to offer some kind of service to the world. Everyone has needs. We all have needs, and we all can use help. But just I'd say also ask, when you see this image, does it strike you as more like expansive? Or does it seem barren? Kind of just looking at the image, what's coming through? What's your viewpoint of the situation you're in? If this is barren landscape, is there a lot of frustration and anger? You're just kind of kicking through the sand and it's getting hard to walk. Watching out for anger tied to any kind of resentment. I mean, those are cycles. So let's get a little more information on this from Be the Person You Want to Find. Okay? Let's find you amongst Mars. Okay? So I just go to whatever feels right and wherever my finger lands. I must move from the controlling end of the spectrum to the not controlling end, right? So there's some big extremes right there. And control. Sometimes we feel like, do you feel like you've given your free will to others? They're making decisions and you're desperately trying to get control back, Wow. Controlling is bad/wrong. Not controlling is good, right? Just like when I was 3, throwing my food was bad, wrong. Not throwing my food was good, right? So the language there is very black and white, right? And our intuition and our own what's right for us, our decisions for us, usually are black or white. Okay? They are they're in the gray. They can't, you know, to say, I believe, you know, throwing my food is bad or throwing my food is good. It sounds like a silly example, but we have these beliefs that we decide and then start to shape and decorate the boxes we put ourselves in. And it can make equal sense to be absolutely frustrated and feel like you're giving your free will and your choices out to others in your life. You know, who is the real authority on your life? Do you give your authority to other people? And you can feel equally that feeling. Wow, I lost my train of thought. Will it also being true that you've decorated your life in a way where you instinctively trust and know that your beliefs and the ways that other people make decisions for you is not for you, but you have decorated your life in such a way where all the advertising, all you keep showing yourself, all you keep seeing, and all the past you look to is giving examples of reinforcing those beliefs of, this is why I can't decide that. I can't do that, you know. And you can be equally parts frustrated. It can be true, but you can still only be seeing through the lens of what you understood and was right for you to understand at a certain point in your life. All right, so let's try to lift this up a little bit. Some really, really intense times right now. Mars energy, man. Kind communication with yourself. Okay, there's a general one. Kind communication with others. Or pulling back as much as possible, because, you know, energetically, you're just going to drain yourself, you know, choosing your battles, and trying not to battle with yourself more than you need to. Let's get a little love in here. Okay. Hey, group number 2, let go of control issues. So both of these have come up about control. Who's controlling you, your decisions, or are you trying to control others, make their decisions? You know, regardless of the reasons around it, just look at how you think of where are you when it comes to control and needing to control things in your life. What kind of expectations do you hold, period, for anything in your life, for any single thing in your life? Okay, so it says, allow the situation to unfold naturally. Does that piss you off? I mean, we've got Mars, this angry energy, conflict energy. Does that piss you off? Can you slow your thought process, or do you have someone who can't slow their thought process, and when they get going, it's a firecracker and they blow up and they just drive right off the side of the cliff, no brakes? You know, are you getting pissed off just thinking, let it unfold? Like, how could I do that? You know, the worst case scenario is coming up and everything's screwed up, and how am I supposed to, you know, do you find yourself losing your breath? Are you around somebody who's constantly out of breath and removed from themselves, you know, disembodying from themselves? They can't breathe because they're so upset all the time. It's an interesting image on the card, so just kind of even see, like, does anything pop out at you in particular? Okay. And now we're gonna pick a lovely flower for you, and we'll see how this goes. Okay. How can we help with these control issues? Or are we just going to get another flower that says, look at these control issues? Authoritative issues. Okay. I'm trying to not be controlling with this. Okay. So this is already like a clean slate. We relaxed and all the pages went white. We just got one word, bouquets. So I'm going to go through the bouquets. Clear that. Breathe that energy out. Breathe it. Get back in our bodies. And I opened up to acknowledgements. Okay. So I think this is good. If you're in control, you're kind of myopically just viewing yourself and your situation. So I opened to the acknowledgements page. So many people made this book a reality by offering kind words, encouragement, and lending an ear when I needed it most. And then it goes on to thank yous. Thank you first and foremost to my husband, Nick, for helping me plant everything from flowers to new ideas to wild adventures. Thank you to Alyssa Jeanette, my literary agent, for encouraging me to going to the bat for me, and for your honesty and kindness. So I'm just going to go that far, but acknowledging, right? Acknowledging what others have done for you, what you've done for others. You're your number one witness. You're your number one star who's going to see you for exactly who you are. It's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. But I love this. Just, what does it make you think of when you think of offering kind words, encouragement, lending an ear? Are these things you need to seek out? Do you need to seek out kind words? Do you need to give kind words? And if you can't offer them to someone else, I'm talking about offer them to yourself. Offer yourself encouragement. Find yourself a good way to listen to yourself. Planting new ideas and wild adventures. Do you need a new idea? Is your old idea of yourself or the old idea that you are trying to control freaking killing you? Plant a new idea. Plant a new adventure. How can you do that? Well, you have to let go. Even if it's just being with your breath a little more every day, that helps create space. Being by yourself. You create time for breath, any kind of space, energetic, physical, whatever it is. You open up space for new adventures. You open up space for new ideas or people with new ideas to come in. See yourself in a different way. Not just in the mirror, not just listening. Do an activity you haven't done before. See yourself in a new way. If you don't know how to do this activity, it's new, that's also helping to let go of this control. Or if you've been around someone who's very controlling, frustrating, angry Mars energy, do something you've never done before, they've never done before, just fresh and new, a fresh new adventure and idea. I know the energies are really intense. I know we're all on these paths of adventure, and I just wish everyone the best with the end of the year, with November, with being true to yourself. Trust me, it will pay off. What does true to yourself mean? Making choices that align with yourself. What did making choices that align with yourself mean? Trial and error. You'll know. You'll feel it. You'll see the differences. Are things collapsing? Are things expanding? And sometimes I know it's hard because things, people, places can collapse. But do you have a sense of, I knew this was coming, or I'm desperately clinging on to everything? And have you been clinging on to certain things for a while and they're falling away? God bless them, they're falling away. Because you are beautiful, fantastic, and destined to have all kinds of thoughts and wild adventures and fun and journey in so many ways. And it's all about you, and it's all about tapping into you, and it's not about getting it done within a deadline. You are alive. You get to make choices, and they're your choices. All right, that's all I got for right now. And with the knocking over of that lamp, until next time.